So I'm very happy to welcome all of you here. And so we are honored here to have with us Ms. Rabindra Bhavan, Director of the Instituto Cervantes, New Delhi. So Madam will be delivering the introductory remarks, and I would also like to welcome Professor Manashri Lal. Madam is convener of the English Advisory Board of Sahitya. So Madam will chair this event, and I am also delighted to extend my heartfelt welcome to our distinguished participants today. Mr. Basilio Belliard, Spanish language, Dominican Republic.
Basilio is not here today, he could not come.
He could not come, okay.
His flight is stuck in New York because of that ash.
Okay, alright. So we are missing him today.
He was supposed to reach day before this.
Okay, alright. We are missing him today. So Mr. Philip Juaristi, Bart's language Spain. Miss Laura Giordani, Spanish language Argentina. Miss Raquel Santaneda, Catalan language Spain. And we have our own Mr. Abhay K. Welcome, sir, here. Sir is Indian diplomat and poet. And we have Miss Lakshmi Kandan Madam. Madam is an Indian English poet. So I welcome all the participants here. And your presence here is a testament that even if we have this diversity, this the variety of languages, there is one bond that is flowing through all these variety. That is that is culture and art. It binds us together, and literature that binds us together. So thank you very much, all of you. So with these words, I welcome you, and so I hope that this event will nurture this feeling of maybe connectedness, and we move forward in this direction in future also. So thank you so much, ma'am. I would just like to. Okay. So as a tradition, we'll be honoring our guest with Gamucha, and so this is our Indian tradition.
Now, I introduce the delegate to the audience. Welcome you all once again. Maria Vilcorno, Director of Instituto of Cervantes, Spanish Culture Center, University of Spain. She holds a degree of Hispanic law from the University of Antonio de Madrid. She obtained a diploma in advanced studies in Akademi at the University of with the work on analysis of Indian journals Spanish. She has been visiting Professor of University of Delhi and Professor of Institute of Cervantes since 2000. She has been part of the teaching team of various master programs of the teaching ELE teachers University of Alcalá, Masters, Menendez, Pelayo University, IC Masters, and has collaborated with the training department of the Instituto Cervantes director and teacher more than 20 years. And our convener, Maharashtra, is eminent writer, academic and poet who retired from the University of English Department. She is currently in the convener of English Advisory Board, Sahitya Akademi. Professor Maharashtra has over 24 books to grade, specializing in literature, women and religion. As a poet, her recent work has done wide recognition. Her collection, Mandalas of Times poem, was highly acclaimed and excellent themes of culture, myth and personal memory. Our latest anthology title, Singing in the Air poem, published recently, delves into themes of imprint and erasure, climate change and mystic literature. And now, Alifi Jurasti, welcome you sir. He is a writer and journalist by profession on Sahitya. He studied journalism and University of Madrid. He has published more than 25 books in all genres of literature, especially poetry. He has been director of Escoli Arakia Public Radio 2010 to 2013. Professor at University of West Country. He has received numerous awards and mentioned as a writer. He has director of the Mario Onandia Foundation Grand Prix, the foundation partner of Valia Zoya Publishing Institute. His latest book, Harry's of Guide How This Stone Correct, is a poetry book from published in 2020. Sir, welcome you, sir. And Laura Giordani is a writer and poet from Argentina. She does teaching activities and gives seminars on poetic writing and artistic creation processes. She resides in Spain. Her books, Materia Oscara, Nautilus Clausura, Antonis de Desaparecer, Una Lengua Emporia, La Infancia que nos aborda, Magna Terra, Mislio, and Monte Andredo. Her texts have been included in various anthologies, and she has collaborated in different national and international publications such as Ucali, Vendoso, Geneva, Mongolia, and Active, Navo, the Children's Book of American Gold, Triangular Texto, Apparative Campaigns, Galerna, Quimera, Lisa Negera, La Samandra Abria, Al Nazar, Al Ulperio, South Arabia, as Annada 39. Welcome you once again, madam. Raquel Sanchez is a Italian poet. She also worked as a poetry curator and festival programmer in Catalonia, contributing to the development of contemporary poetic discourse through cultural coordination and literary programming. Her literary career began with the poetry collections Theologia Poetica del Sol, which was awarded the Merit Prize. This tribute introduced Babasmi, a poetic approach aimed at creating a new ecology of the lyrical style. A thread that continues throughout her collection, the robots at McQueen's on and North Track, Dracula, Poetry Prize, and Rena de Reyes, Sonia Juliana Apeco, Poetry Prize in 2020. Welcome you, ma'am. Sir, Hawaii sir is an Indian poet, diplomat, editor, and translator. He has authored numerous poetry collections, including nonsense and authors of Latin America, and edited several anthologies such as the book of Bihari Literature, He is renowned for his Alp Anthem, which has been translated into for and for his diplomatic career with the Indian foreign service. Last week, is about another This is the poet, novelist, short story writer, and translator. Lakshmi Kannan and other stories have been declared as the best book of the year by Shamala and Narayan and Payal Nagpur, who compiled the India section for the annual Bibliographical Literature Critic and Empire Today 2023. Other recent books include Nadi Stuti Poems, Authors Press, The Glass-Filled Curtain, a historical novel on Madras presidency during British rule 2020. Wooden Cow, translate of the iconic novel by T. Janaki Raman, and Shifting the Jasmine Moon, poem with the foreword by Jayant Mahapartha. Madam, welcome you again. And our Spanish coordinator, Subrato Bondapoy, is the author of 5 books of poetry in Bengali, and 4 were translated in Spanish and got published in Spain. He received the Antonio Machado International Poetry Fellowship from the Government of Spain and Sahitya Akademi Yuva Puraskar. He has participated in several literary festivals like Marian International Poetry Festival, Colombia, Victoria, like FIL, Lorena, Mexico, Jaipur Literary Festival, India. He teaches Spanish language and curates poetry festivals include Ibero-American Voices at the Instituto Cervantes, New Delhi. Because I write fastly, because I have to say the time, because we have to listen poets. Thank you, welcome you once again.
Good evening, everyone. It's indeed a great honor and a pleasure to be chairing this session on the cultural exchange program between Spain and India, and to get this rare opportunity to listen to speakers from Spain, poets who've done wonderful work as the biography was being read up. And there is a certain kind of historical appropriateness about it, I think, because the connection between India and Spain goes back a long time. And I'm glad to see Shubhra Bandhopadhyay here, a fellow Bengali, if I may say so, because some of the earliest interest that was shown in Indian literature was on Rabindra Tagore. And it came as a surprise to me that there were almost 20 books of Tagore that were translated into Spanish and continue to hold interest. But the reverse is also true, because the very obvious choice of Don Quixote by Cervantes, I did a little bit of asking around, and then I found that Don Quixote has been translated into numerous Indian languages, including Hindi, Bengali, Assamese, Marathi, and Sanskrit. Moreover, the other very popular writer here is Lorca. Somehow Lorca is in our English literature syllabus in many universities in India, and The House of Bernarda Alba and Blood Wedding are often adapted to Indian conditions and then produced on stage by students. But to jump to the present, it's indeed a great joy to have an opportunity to listen to the speakers from Spain and the speakers from India and see what common themes that might emerge. So I will call upon the first speaker. I'll call upon Ms. Maria Gil Burmer to give her remarks, her introductory remarks, and then we will move to the poetry. And when it comes to the poetry, if each poet could read maybe 2 short poems, then we will be within the time frame that the Academy has set for the evening.
Thank you very much. Namaste. Good evening. Buenas tardes. Bona tarde. Arratsalde on. That means good evening in different languages. Good evening, dear members of the Sahitya Akademi, dear poets, dear friends. It's a truly honor to be here with all of you. As all of you know, Instituto Cervantes was created by the Spanish government in 1991 to promote the study and use of the Spanish language and to share the cultural heritage of Spanish-speaking countries around the world. We are present in more than 100 cities and in over 50 countries around worldwide. Spanish is now firmly the third largest native-speaking language in the world after Mandarin Chinese and Hindi. For Instituto Cervantes, this is an extraordinary occasion to highlight what lies at the heart of its mission, since our mission also includes promoting the co-official languages of Spain, Catalan, Basco, and Gallego, and in that sense, celebrating and fostering linguistic diversity. The pan-Hispanic vision, the vocation for dialogue, and the conviction that without languages there is no culture, brings us all together today here. And I would like to sincerely thank the Embassy of Spain in India and the Embassy of the Dominican Republic in India, who have supported this initiative with great generosity. Of course, I would like to read all the poets, Spanish, Argentina, Indian, and our friend, teacher, and curator of Ibero-American Voices, Subro Bandopadiai. And now I'll give the floor to the poets.
Thank you. As you very rightly said, it's language that leads to cultural understanding. And thank you very much for giving us the background to the Institute of Cervantes. It's actually a very popular place in Delhi, and I've been there many times, and so have my friends here. And I'm just such a delight to get to listen to the variety of languages that are spoken and used within Spain. So may I call upon the first speaker today, the poet, Philip Juarezti.
Dos poemas breves o
Mike.
un poema mediano.
Hala entzun zuen ametsetan ziotela. Inork ez du bere burua ezagutzen, sorterritik joanik ez bada, mugimendu hutsa da gizakia. Irazartzean bista zuen altxatu, behena zegoen geldi eta lasai. Etxea, kea zeriola tximiniatik. Atarian, berak aldatutako ezkia, loretan. Alde egin zuen atzean uzirik, etxea, kea, ataria, ezkia. Oinen soinua oiarzunak ezin harrapa. Elurraren oroiza begietan zeramaten ibaiak zituen gainditu. Mendi zuriak, odei ezinguratuak. Lur lehorrak ikusi zituen, lurrezeak. Eta guzti bera, zeruetan zaindari. Ia ukitu zuen behazekin orzemuga. Perlazkoari aurruntasunaren lepoan. Eta jargi bera, zeruetan zaindari. Gazte egin zen, gizon beranduago. Zilar kolorez jantzi zitzaion ilea. Hala entzun zuen ametsetan ziotela. Igozen dena oro da jaizten, joaten dena beti etortzen, biziza da etengabeko izulia. Ziba baten gisa jirazari uzi ezaiozu, zeure burua aurkitu nahi baduzu, bila ezazu zeure baitan. Hil ondoren lur eman diote, mutikotan haren eskuek aldatutako zuaizpean dena zegoen geldi eta lasai. Etxea, kea zeriola txemineatik. Orduan konturatu da goizeko oskirrian, ezurrak antxe kondirela beti, urte eta urte gehiagoren hautsetan bilduak. Haizeak adargoia ditu astin zen, memoria du deika. Baina zer aurkitu duzu ibilian? Espiritua baita bidaiari bakartia. Beste espirituak aurretik abandonatua, ez besterik. Iraganean izanaren arrasto zuria. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I will read. Am I audible? Yes. I'll read the English version. It's Metropolis 2. He heard a voice in his dreams. You'll never know yourself unless you leave the land of your birth. Being is pure motion. Waking, waking, he looked up. All was still and quiet, the house, the chimney smoke, the birch he planted in the doorway, now in leaf. He took off, leaving behind the house, the smoke, the doorway, the birch tree. The echo couldn't keep up with his footsteps. He crossed rivers that brought memories of snow to his eyes. White mountains shrouded in clouds. He saw cracked earth and fertile soil, and saw the sun ruling far above. His fingers came close to the line of the horizon, a string of pearls around the neck of infinity. And he saw the moon ruling far above. Youth came, manhood soon followed. Silver threads ran through his hair. He heard a voice in his dreams. All that goes up must come down. What goes must return. Life is a perpetuum mobile. Stop spinning, look inside and find yourself. After he died, they buried him under the tree he had planted as a child. Everything was still and quiet. The house, the chimney smoke. In the morning chill, he realized his bones were always there, mixed in with the dust of years. The treetops sway. Memory speaks. So what did you find as you wandered? The spirit is a lonely pilgrim. Only what other spirits left behind, vanishing vestiges of what it was. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was very beautiful. The spirit is a lonely pilgrim. That's a line.
It is
Certainly,
a lonely pilgrim.
it's a beautiful line indeed. So,
And what goes up must come down.
yes,
This is probably
absolutely.
our
And the
motto
cracked,
of every Indian.
yes, and the cracked earth. Very beautiful images indeed. Thank you very much. And the beauty of the Basque language, it's very musical. We'll move next to Laura Giordani, Argentina, Spain.
Sí, ¿se me escucha? Can you hear?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you all for the warm reception, and I will read one poem, and Shubhra, please,
I'll
will
read
read it in English, okay? ¿Qué te hicieron, caballito? Que las manos de tu amo se hundan en tu carne abierta hasta que llore polvo de ladrillo, hasta que la fusta con que te azotaba caiga con él de rodillas, con manos imantadas. Hundir los dedos en la tierra negrísima de la infancia, cuando las yemas ardan, escarbar con manos imantadas por una ternura abandonada junto a los restos, el desguace nuestro. Botones sueltos, fotografías de familia, los esposos en un muelle con 4 hijos y 2 baúles, un viejo de ojos claros junto a su silla de Enea, escarpines de lana amarillando sin término, el ajuar con las mismas iniciales de aquel ataúd chiquito y blanco, un mechoncito rubio en la mano, único consuelo, mujeres pariendo en camas de hierro, niños amamantados por cabras. Beni sonu di la montaneda, lulupú si mangiao la picureda, hoy ni nabofá. A la infancia a través de las manos, palpar el fondo de los cajones para conocer el revés nuestro, las costuras de un relato siempre en hilachas. Ella se fue y algo se rompió dentro, algo sordo, como llorando. Escondimos las rodillas lastimadas por el pavimento. Llegaron como una peste las palabras y las llevamos a la boca, creyendo en su alimento. Los contornos adquirieron relieve, los pétalos del corazón fueron cayendo uno a uno, como en aquel juego. Sobrevino la sintaxis, la separación, el desastre.
Thank you.
What did they do, little horse? What did they do, you little horse? That the hands of your master should sink into your opened flesh, until it weeps break dust, until the weep with which he lashes you falls with him to his knees, with magnetized hands, to sink our fingers into the blackest earth of childhood, when fingertips burn, hands magnetized by a discarded tenderness that dig searching, the remains are scrap. Loose buttons, family photographs, spouses on the quayside with 4 children, 2 trunks, an old man with clear eyes next to his wicker chair, woolen stockings forever fading, the trousseau with the same initials as that little white coffin, a little lock of blonde hair held in hand, their only consolation. Women giving birth in iron beds, children suckled by goats. Oh, come, sleep from the little mountain. The wolf ate the little lamb. Oh, the child wants to sleep. Childhood reached through our hands, feeling the bottom of drawers, knowing our underside, the seams of story always in rags. She left something broke inside, something deaf, as if weeping. We hit our knees scrapped on the pavement. Words came like a disease. We put them in our mouths, believing in their nourishment. Outlines became distinct, one by one. As in that childhood game, the petals of innocence fell, then syntax, separation, disaster.
Again, an absolute treat. Thank you very much. So vivid the imagery is, and I'm hoping that at the end of the readings we'll have some time to ask questions, because there's so many that are buzzing in our minds, I'm sure. So we'll move to the next speaker, Raquel Santanara, and this is from the Catalan language. Thank you.
I thank you for all. Thank you for this act and reception. Now, I read one poem, Manifesta Babaista. This poem explains the history of the Baba. Today, Shudro explained me that Baba in India is a father, no? But in my poem, no. Baba is a god, a divinity invented for me. It's a poetry symbol, it's other thing. Baba no neix, perquè allò que sempre ha existit no pot néixer mai ni morir per darrere. És una arrel gruixuda de l'arbre de la fruita espessa i la ciència calenta, la pedra de la torre més alta, l'odi del silenci ben mudat i endeví de poemes i desitjos dels noms del jardí mut. Babà és el teu pare entaforant el teu nom amb una cullera sopera. Babà és la teva mare dient ma, ma. Babà és a la classe i al pati de l'escola. Babà són aquells 100 litres de versos escrits a correcuita després d'haver dormit la nit amb ell. Babà són aquells 100 litres de versos després d'haver deixat que ella s'acostés. Babà ets tu, guarnit de discursos que pretenen furgar les cuixes de verges tímids que s'han posat a mesurar el diàmetre del seu cul en paraules. Babà sóc jo, vestideta de dolors passejant vora la torre, on treballen i s'esperen els subjectes que s'envesteixen amb llenguatges els uns contra els altres, encallats en el quitrà i la pedra molla. Jurar-los l'úter fèrtil, les pomes i els vins, l'or i les espines, i ser el pou del món poant dins ell totes les mirades tristes, no deixa que Babà tingui remordiments que els conductors enlluernats s'envesteixen com búfals els uns contra els altres, escampant les sorres, com si allò generés noves estrelles. Babà salta el setge de ferralla, que és el viure i la mort, ballarines de cara guapa i danses del sabre. Babà esquibuida les cendres en el seu llit i tal vegada, com un fènix, ple de llenguatge fins al bec, ressuscita, convertint-se en la mare de totes les santes i no santes, desconeixent si és impúdica o no fins a les celles. La procreació de la imatge del món només és dins la boca, en la paraula i la poesia. Babà no és la veritat. Babà no és la veritat. Babà no és la veritat i per això és capaç d'entendre la felicitat del rinoceront quan se'l confon pel cavall de plata. Aspirar a la immortalitat només s'aconsegueix quan Babà parla.
Raquel Santanera here created an imaginary deity called Baba. I told her this morning, she read this poem at the University North Campus, and they told her that Baba in Bangla is father, in many parts of India it's father, and in many parts of Bihar it's a grandfather, and in Jharkhand as well. So there is a fatherly connection with that, and in Delhi it can be a godman as well.
But it also means, you know, kind of goddess in, it's called Baba Iga in Russian. And also Baba is a woman actually in Slavic languages.
No?
So Baba has a lot of meaning. So I'll read her Babaist manifesto. Baba is not born because that which has always existed can never have been born nor die thereafter. Baba is a thick root of the juiciest fruit tree and the hottest science, the stone of the highest tower. Baba is a well-disguised hate of silence and seer to bones, and desires beating within gnomes that inhabit the mute garden. Baba is your father, spoon-feeding you, your name with his soup spoon. Baba is your mother repeating, Mama. Baba is your class and the school playground. Baba are all those hundreds of litters of verse frenetically poured poured out onto the page after having spent the night with him. Baba are all those hundreds of liters of verse poured out after letting her come that bit closer. Baba is you all decorated in speeches that hope to poke around between shy virgin thighs who have begun measuring the diameter of their bums with words. Baba is me all dressed up in pain, strolling around the tower where my subjects work and pray, to send their languages charging once again, one against another, but remain stuck in the tar and the wet stone, promising them a fertile womb, apples and wine, gold and fish, and to be the world's welling up inside you all its looks of despair. None of this shall mean an ounce of regret for Baba when drivers lit up to take the charge as the buffalo do one against other, flinging sand far and wide as if to generate new stars. Baba skips over the scrap iron hopper that is life and death, sweet-faced ballerinas, the sugar-sword dancers. Baba is the one to empty the ashes onto the wave. And perhaps, like a phoenix, big bursting with language, is reborn, translated into the mother of all women saints, and not so saintly, unaware of any lack or not of unchastness up till her eyebrows. The procreation of the world's image resides in our mouths, in the spoken word and poetry. Baba is not truth. Baba is not truth. Baba is not truth. And for that reason alone is able to understand a rhino's happiness when confused with the silver-coated horse. The aspiration to immortality is only reached when Baba speaks. Thank you.
Thank you. Another beautiful poem and powerfully mystic. And this reminds me of another program that the Institute of Cervantes did with the Government of India, which was a 2-day session on the women mystic poets from India as well as from Spain. And I was fortunate to be among that group, and it was a marvelous time understanding what mysticism meant and how it conveyed through concepts like Baba, which are gender-free in a way, and also permeate all creatures, human and non-human. So it really was an eye-opener, and it reminds me, this poem, of those poems that I had heard at that time. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
We'll move now to our 2 Indian poets. So first, Abhay K., who has written very directly on Latin American.
It's a book called The Alphabets of Latin America.
We have the translator here. You can write. You can read.
It's also
poems in Spanish for the Spanish guests.
Please.
Wonderful.
This book has been translated into Spanish by Vikas, professor at IGNO
Spanish language.
in the Spanish language, and it's been published recently from Colombia. And I'm going to read a poem called, 2 poems actually, one on Lorca, who is a popular poet from Spain, and another on, for Laura, a poem on Borges, because of Argentina. And the first one it's called Lorca and I in New York. As you know, Lorca has written a book on a poet in New York. I feel happy here. The sky is gloomy. It's freezing outside. High-rise concrete buildings, not a single tree around. I am warm, lying in room 1512 at the Park Central. I feel at home. New York's cold, yellowish bricks feel warm. Pedestrians appear with masked strangers. I smile and want them to smile back. Trees in Central Park have shed their leaves, and a flock of blackbirds sit over them, forming canopies. The sun is not back yet from New Year holidays. Yet I feel warm. I see a shadow, an apparition. It must be Lorca. I feel intuitively, who walked once in these streets. I follow him, his duende, towards Columbia University. He takes unexpected turns. I keep following him. He stops and asks me to walk with him across Brooklyn Bridge. We look at the river, still not frozen, and head towards the United Nations. I'm curious what Lorca would say at the UNGA rostrum. He stands firm, and I lend him my ears. I can't make out what he says. It's pure poetry, not a politician's speech. Lorca speaks in figures, not words. I clap alone. Nobody else is here. We walk out looking at the knotted gun and laugh. In Lower Manhattan at Poet's House, we hear contemporary poets. Lorca whispers in my ears, "Where is poetry? Is it lost in prose or in rap or in soulful lyrics of the tambourine man, in the great American song tradition?" We decide to go to Broadway to watch a play. We leave in the middle and get into a yellow taxi. The driver Mandeep tells us how he came from Jalandhar to New York 17 years ago and never returned to India, fearing arranged marriage. But his worst fears came true. Lorca himself had been through this before. He left the shores of Spain for New York to forget his bitter love. He whispered in my ears, "I might have tried arranged marriage myself, had they not killed me in cold blood."
Thank you very much. Certainly time travel and
For the
Can
guests.
Vikas read the Spanish version?
that would be wonderful. Yes, please.
Thank you so much. Especially for our guests from Spain. Lorca y yo en Nueva York. Me siento feliz aquí. El cielo está sombrío. Hace frío. Afuera. Los altos edificios de hormigón. No hay ni un solo árbol a la vista. Estoy abrigado. Acostado en la habitación 1512, en el Park Central. Me siento en casa. Los fríos ladrillos amarillentos de Nueva York se sienten cálidos. Los transeúntes aparecen extraños, whitmanianos. Sonrío y deseo que ellos me devuelvan la sonrisa. Los árboles en Central Park han perdido sus hojas y un grupo de pájaros negros se posa sobre ellos, formando toldos. El sol aún no ha vuelto de las vacaciones de Año Nuevo, pero me siento cálido. Veo una sombra, una aparición. Debe ser Lorca, siento intuitivamente. Quien camino una vez por estas calles, lo sigo, su duende, hacia la Universidad de Colombia. Él gira inesperadamente y yo sigo sus pasos. Se detiene y me pide que camine con él por el puente de Brooklyn y miramos el río, aún no congelado, y nos dirigimos hacia la ONU. Tengo curiosidad por lo que Lorca diría en el podio de la ONU. Él se mantiene firme y yo le presto mis oídos. No puedo distinguir lo que dice. Es pura poesía, no un discurso político. Lorca habla en figuras, no en palabras. Aplaudo solo, no hay nadie más aquí. Salimos mirando el arma atada y reímos. En el Bajo Manhattan and Poets House escuchamos a poetas contemporáneos. Lorca susurra en mis oídos: ¿dónde está la poesía? ¿Está perdida en la prosa o en el rap o en las letras profundas del hombre del tambor, en la gran tradición de canciones americanas? Decidimos ir a Broadway a ver una obra, la dejamos a la mitad y tomamos un taxi amarillo. El conductor Mandip nos cuenta cómo llegó de Jalandhar a Nueva York hace 17 años y nunca regresó a India temiendo el matrimonio arreglado. Pero sus peores temores se hicieron realidad. El mismo Lorca había pasado por esto, antes de abandonar las costas de España para Nueva York, para olvidar a su amor amargo. Susurró en mis oídos: podría haber intentado el matrimonio arreglado a sangre fría.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We move now to our last speaker for the evening, Dr. Lakshmi Kannan.
Thank you, Professor Manushrila and the Sahitya Akademi for this absolute honor to participate with all of you and to share our poems. It's so wonderful to listen to you all in Spanish. It's so musical. Whenever I've heard poetry in Spanish here or overseas, I just relax over the cadence and the musicality. So I will read a few poems from my latest book, Nadi Stuti. Nadi is river. It's about the 7 rivers of India. And there is this belief that these rivers are very, very sacred. Many of them, for Indians, are a manifestation of a female energy. And that's, I think, very, very Indian, but probably it has an echo in other cultures, going by certain river myths that I have read. So what is this Nadi Stuti about? You see, having grown in South India, in an extended family with elderly generation of people also, they have an infinite belief that when they have a bath, they have to invoke the 7 rivers and that the 7 rivers are blessing them. However much it is in their washroom, the water is coming. So I grew up with these elders, and that's sort of, I wanted to share. And yet, in tropical countries such as India, rivers go dry. Still, there is this implicit belief that it is lurking somewhere underneath. So, those of you who've heard about the Kumbh Mela every 12 years in Prayagraj, Allahabad, so they feel that there is Saraswati who is supposed to have disappeared. And the Sukta goes something like this. In translation, take birth in these waters, O holy rivers, Ganga, Yamuna, Godavari, Saraswati, Narmade, Sindhu, Kaveri. Enrich the waters with your divine presence. And most of the senior generations would recite it in Sanskrit as Gangecha, Yamunecha, Godavari, Saraswati, Narmade, Sindhu, Kaveri, Jale Asmin Sannidhin Kuru. And they believe that they are blessed. So this is a short poem on Saraswati, who's supposed to have died visibly, but people throng, and they still believe it's Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati in the confluence in Triveni Sangam. And the scientific study of river, they track it down to the river Ghaggar in Haryana. They are right. So here, she is a deity, Saraswati is a deity, who stands for learning, the intellect, art, talent, music, dance, everything. So this is a little poem called, small poem called Saraswati. You call the invisible river Saraswati, for you flow on quietly, unobtrusively, join Ganga and Yamuna in Prayagraj to form the Triveni Sangam. People throng to take a dip in the waters with unshaken faith that your waters have faith. That done, you disappear under the earth due to tectonic disturbance. However, photomology has not lost track. Above the soil, you rose as a very tangible goddess, invoked by all your devotees, students, writers, musicians, dancers, painters. You flow on within their bloodstream. And if Shubhraji thinks I can read one other small poem.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
It's again very small. We have to find a kind. Not only is it small, it's also called Small Beginning. And there is going by the. I'm personally, as a woman, fascinated by the faith that they have, not only in water, but it is the manifestation of a female energy. And so there is this mighty Kaveri river, which begins in a very small way in the Mysore Cool border. And it's like a 4 feet by 4 feet font. So in another poem on the river, I have explained how she becomes very, very wider and wider and wider, 400 meters, wide and long as she hurtles towards the Bay of Bengal. And then they call her Akhanda Kaveri. But she began in a small way, small beginning. It's easy to give me the casual look and move on, for I am small, if you go by size. I was only 4 feet by 4 feet when I took birth as a small fount. They called me a riverhead. They named me as Talakaveri. I have a tiny shrine that matches my infancy. They call it Brahmakundigani, where people throng to offer flowers, coins, prayers. In return, I promise to wash their land. Now I must flow out to glow into the mighty Kaveri. Nothing can stop me. Nothing. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much, Lakshmi. Talking of rivers, deities, what you were mentioning about Lorca in New York, I'm just reminded of a folklore which I found very interesting connection between Spain and India. Somebody told me that there is a lot of faith in Saint Teresa of Avila.
Santa Teresa de Avila.
Yeah, and it seems that near Pondicherry there is a shrine, and the way it happened is that the statue of Saint Teresa was on a ship, and when it came to this little port called Mahe, it wouldn't move any further. So in India, we believe that goddesses and gods choose their place of residence.
Yes.
And the local people then decided that this is where Saint Teresa of Avila wants to live. And therefore, way back, I'm talking of 1736, that was when the shrine was built. So it's a beautiful way of connecting the two countries and the beliefs that people have. And this session has brought us so much closer in understanding the kind of languages that we use, imagery, and the thoughts that go in the form of poetry. So we have a couple of minutes. If there would be a few questions, we can take them.
I want to say something that I'm very proud to say. I always say that, no? That in Spain we have different languages. We speak different languages, no? For me, it's like I'm very proud, no, about this. But when I say that to Indian audiences or friends, they look at me like, "4 only." Here we have at least 24 official languages, no? But it seems to be many more. But actually, it's very rich to have so different languages, because languages means different cultures, no? And as director of Instituto Cervantes, no, as I said before, for one of our mission is to promote Spanish language, but also different languages of the state, no, the Spanish kingdom. So I'm very happy to share this information also with you, because it's normal that you always think about Spanish, no? But here we have Euskera, Catalan, Spanish, but with another accent, no? And those differences make Spanish so rich, no? Because it's spoken in more than 20 countries, and every variety has its own characteristic, and that is what makes Spanish so rich also.
Can I ask?
Yeah, please.
See, I think this is absolutely extraordinary to see how close we are culturally.
Yes.
Because maybe there is a kind of an extra dimension to poetry, another dimension which one sees both in the in the poems that were read out here, and also the poems that were read out on the Indian side. And I think that has got something to do with the realm of the unknown, which we are constantly exploring through spirituality and nature. So these are the two things that we are concerned about, because in poetry we are trying to spell out our own understanding of that unknown. And we have that sense of the unknown. I don't know if I'm talking about, maybe I am, of, for instance, this entire concept of Baba and Baba. That extra dimension is what I'm talking about. And we here are looking at the rivers as sacred. And also in terms of, if it is a Lorca, that Lorca is kind of, all of us relate to Lorca. We know how specifically Spanish he is, but the writing connects us to, there's a common domain there. So it's not a question really, but it's a celebration of the fact that your multilinguality of some kind, your consciousness of many languages, and our consciousness of many languages, and yet coming together in that one domain of spirituality. It's through the very specifics, realistic specifics, we go into that particular domain by rising above the specific to the universal somewhere. You don't see that generally in American poetry. You don't see that.
Thank you, Sukrita. Thank you. Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. I think that you have explained so beautifully the reality of our unity. When I heard the poem of Lorca and yours of the river and the feminine energy, maybe poetry is that river, underground or hidden river that connects us.
Yes.
Beautiful.
No? And sometimes it's humble, it's very short, sometimes it's, but when I listen to you, I really I received that energy. Maybe all of us, I think, and I want to thank you. I want to thank you, and I celebrate that unity.
Thank you.
Indeed, I think it's the energy of words, language, poetry, and culture, and our understanding of each other's countries and expressions that brings us together, and I can feel the energy in this room. So I'll now hand over to Shubhro Bandyopadhyay for the vote of thanks, please.
Yeah. Well audible without the mic. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sahitya Akademi, for giving us the time and space, and thank you both from India. Thank you, Malshruji. Thank you, Babeji. Thank you, Lakshmi Kananji. Thank you, Shamukhanandaji. I just want to end this with one note that every year at the Cervantes Institute, we all together, we celebrate a poetry festival called Ibero-American Voices of Poetry, where we try to bring poets from the Hispanic world who speak different languages. That is the main idea of the festival. That from far we have a kind of idea, a monolithic idea of Spanish language, that it is spoken all over the world and that it is spoken by all the Latin Americans and in most of the countries except in Brazil and in Spain. But like in India, we have 24 official languages, and in Spain they have 4 official languages. Small country in comparison to India, and they have 4 official languages. And there are Latin American countries where there are more than 64 languages. Mexico, last year we had a Mexican poet, and last year we had a Mexican poet, and this year we couldn't have. But Sahitya Akademi is the place where we can celebrate that diversity. Thanks again for taking us.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you once again, Subhroji. Thank you. I extend my heartful gratitude to today's delegates, Instituto, Cervantes, and my colleagues for making this event truly meaningful and successful, and to our audience for their presence, and invite for the tea. Thank you.